State your name for the record and make your comments in the same thing for the lady over to my right.
Good morning. Excuse me. My name is Daniel James. I am also a former inmate at Tamms. I've heard a lot of comments today. I thought that I wasn't going to have an opportunity to speak. I was sent to Tamms because a correctional officer lied and said that I assaulted him by punching him in the mouth. It was witnessed by another officer. There was no hearing or any of that. Mr. Molina made comments about their review an inmate's history before an inmate gets sent there. So I went to Tamms and I grieved the incident. There was no physical marks on this officer that would indicate that he had been assaulted by me. He blatantly lied on me. It took a year. The grievance was denied, and the rationale for them denying my grievance was credibility of writing employee. So I did a year in Tamms, and then finally they released me from Tamms. They weren't certainly going to admit that I shouldn't have been placed there in the first place. I was incarcerated for possession of narcotics and forgery. I've never violently offended. I've never had a rape, a murder, or anything like that. But here I am in a Supermax prison. This director's standing up here telling us that he's proud of the fact that he's reduced prison violence. But if you reduce recidivism, then there would be no prison violence because people wouldn't come out and go back to prison. I got out of prison March 13th of this year. They paroled me with $10 and a bus ticket to a men's shelter on the west side of Chicago. I stayed there for 2 weeks, and this facility kicked me out on the street. I was riding a train with nowhere to go and no destination. This kind person here took me into his facility. But I'm saying all that to say, what is the message that it's sending? I am trying to change my life. I'm doing everything in my power. I don't use drugs. You know, if you're going to use a person's past constantly, nature of offense, and I'll never be able to live that down. I can't change what I've done, but I have changed as an individual, and I don't want to break the law anymore. So all of the stuff that I've heard here today about the Department of Corrections, the Department of Corrections has been so, I am sick that our tax dollars go to employ these people who do absolutely nothing. Nothing. My parole officer told me when these people kicked me out, and I told him I had nowhere to go, he said go to Pacific Garden Mission, which is a men's shelter downtown. There's other people here that's been to Tamms that I would like to hear them speak also, my brother here, because I don't have this experience that they have because he was there for so long. So, yes, the Department of Corrections is necessary, and yes, sure, some people need to be incarcerated, but the percentage of those who are just violent gun crazies that, you know, people who just can't get it is very low. A lot of people are incarcerated when we talk about rehabilitation, and it's not about rehabilitation anymore, it's about punishment. Education sets the standard for living because education sets the standard for thinking. So if you have no programs to help people when they reoffend and all that, when they get out on the street like me, there's a lot of people who just go back to what they know. That's what rehabilitation means, to return to one's former state. So if the state that you were before was messed up, then guess what? So I thank the people out here that really try to help offenders. You know, I say ex-offenders because I'm not anymore. I'm a new person. But when you talk about all this different rationale about what the department, there's so much that I can stand here and tell you. Even about the $2 copay, let me tell you how big of a deal that is. If an inmate doesn't have an assignment and no one is sending him money while he's incarcerated, the state normally gives that inmate $10. They don't provide you with lotion, soap. All of these toiletries you have to buy from the commissary. What if you got false teeth and you need some polygrip? I don't know. But when you go to the healthcare unit, if you don't have the money at that time, when you get your state pay, they still take those $2. So you have inmates, something as little as $2, who have real medical issues that won't go get help because they know they're going to get charged $2. And every time you go, it started out to prevent inmates who had little injuries. I go to healthcare because I got a headache. That's what it initially started out as. That makes sense. Now, every time you go for whatever it is, it's a $2 copay. So the little things that they implement in the Department of Corrections are so vast. When they started the property boxes, inmates living out of a box, that evolved to you can only have certain items out of a box. Correctional officers, if you think we're human beings, that they don't lie on inmates, I can't defend a correctional officer saying that I did something wrong, that I was insolent. The people who make these decisions about how long we stay in Tamms, or how it affects our lives, it affects our families, and this is one individual. It's not a committee. Somebody can sit here and decide whether I spend 10 years in Tamms or 2. You know, it's just too much power to give one person. All of it is so vague, every term that they use, appropriately placed, nature of offense. What do these things mean? Because nobody tells you how long you're going to be appropriately placed. The nature of your offense will never change. So I think that the whole Department of Corrections needs to be overhauled. Walter, whatever, Rogers, if he a Christian or whatever his background is, then maybe he should go to church a little more, because, I mean, it is really affecting African Americans. I'm not playing the race card, it's a reality. Every day I walk these streets and I have to resist the temptation of using drugs or committing crime. But God helps me every single day. And I won't appreciate what I got when I finally do restore my life to where I want it. I'll appreciate it more knowing that the Department of Corrections released me to the city of Chicago with $10 in my pocket and a bus ticket.
Thank you. And